What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk a little bit about Marvel Rivals before it releases this upcoming Friday. And really, this just stems kind of from excitement. This might shock you because this is not a game that's really up my alley, and there's no guarantee this game is really going to connect. I think I've been quite honest with that in the past whenever I talk about it. You know, December really has this game, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and Indiana Jones. Really kind of a game for everybody there, and there's no guarantee that all of these games are going to land. And, you know, for Marvel Rivals to be the 6v6, PvP type game, number one, I do think it has tons of potential. Now, I try not to let potential or eyes on a product justify or demand me covering it. I try to go just out of, am I interested in it or not, whether it's, millions of people that are going to play the game or a couple say 100,000. But, the game really has, leading into it, every time it was open for any kind of player access, the game did very, very good. You could watch, people playing it online in terms of gameplay. Those did very well. So I think, it's not always a guarantee. I mean, we had Marvel's Avengers, right? Like, just because you put all of these superheroes together, you would think it's a slam dunk, but it doesn't always guarantee it. I really think unless something goes catastrophically wrong with this game, I do think this game is going to be quite successful. I do think it's going to be quite big. I mean, with 33 characters and the diversity, hopefully, right? But it seems like, from what we've seen with even the players that were, or the characters that were playable, the first time around, and then, the new characters that have been added in, they do seem very, very different, but they seem to, kind of all complement each other. So I think in terms of just pure potential, I don't know if everybody's sleeping on this game, or some people might be sleeping on it. It's weird because I think trailers do pretty well for this game, online, but depends kind of on what corner of the internet you're on. There really doesn't seem to be a lot of talk on it. And then there's just the game itself, like I said a few minutes ago, not necessarily a game you would think is up my alley, and I don't know that for sure. My plan is to really play this on Friday, Saturday, just give it a try, right? Try out some different characters and see if this is a game that I can basically, and I've said this kind of before, when it comes to multiplayer games, it's all about adding it to my rotation. I tend to have a couple multiplayer games kind of on repeat. If I'm feeling burnt out with playing too many new games or even old games, with the new games, I tend to take a break and I tend to go to the Rocket Leagues of the world or, Quidditch Champions, scratch that itch for a little bit, back in the day, Friday the 13th and other games. So I hope that Marvel Rivals can be that for me. And, from what we've seen, leading it, when it was first announced, I don't think I was really high on it. I think my main statement was why are you doing a game like this? When I saw more extended gameplay, I can see how a game like this can be fun. And one thing I can say, I appreciate, because I was watching a couple videos a few days ago on it. I never played it, when it was open to the early access stuff. So going in, I'm going to be completely new. Hopefully I don't get absolutely crushed. But that the depth per each character, right? That was kind of mentioning earlier. So many of them, and then I like games that kind of give you the option of okay, you want to choose multiple of them, maybe get good at a couple of them, or maybe you just run with one, right? Maybe you get super good with Venom or Spider-Man or Doctor Strange, the different kind of factions of heroes, right? Whether it's support or tank or whatever, and you just get really, really good. I do like those kind of games because I maybe that repetition, and also just, okay, you can play as you can try all 33 characters, but more than likely you're going to connect to a few of them, and then you just double and triple down onto them and you make it work. And honestly, for a game like this to be good to me, it really only has to do a couple of things, right? Capture that fun, be fun consistently, and then it's going to at some point get repetitive, so just have a good hook. It really just goes back, there's really only one thing the game needs to do, and is have, catchy, fun combat. That's pretty much it, right? Because you're going to be doing, same objectives and just kind of getting into it, but it's one of those games that when you're playing with beginners, it's going to act a certain way. When you're playing with, intermediate players, right, it's going to be another way, and when you're playing with masters, it's going to be another. There's strategy involved. There's, again, mastering of those characters. There's definitely going to be a difference between me playing Doctor Strange the first time versus the 50th time, right? I mean, again, the main thing you have to do is just keep that repetitive gameplay fun, and you're pretty much good. And I guess technically add constant updates. The thing that this game definitely has to its advantage that I guess not every one of these has, sadly, is being free, right? I mean, I said, going back even to freaking Concord, right? One of the things that's just so easy that can really, maybe not save a game like that, but can really help it, just be free to play. You have the option of checking it out, trying it out, seeing if it connects with you. And hey, even if it doesn't, or if it's something that's remotely fun, but it's not like massively, well, maybe they add a character 3 months from now that I get interested in and I come back and check it out, right? I guess there's, the ways of like unlocking characters with currency and stuff like that. And they do have to make money. So there does have to be microtransactions of some sort, as long as they aren't like overtly predatory and stuff like that. I think it's going to be a good time, honestly, as the days have gone on. There's the launch trailer a few days ago. They've done all of these, character trailers in particular. And, I think the art style really looks very good in this game. And like I said, I wasn't very high on it when it first was announced. But when I saw the early access, I saw a couple, like Let's Players play it, and they were having fun. And the combat itself and the gameplay loop looked really fun. And again, then, you keep circling back to what we kept talking about. I think just having a Marvel PvP game, right, free to play, almost unlimited potential in that way. I think as long as you don't massively drop the ball, the game should be, like, at worst, pretty okay, and it should be something that is actually rather successful for them. So we'll see how it goes. Not a big fan of, the original, there was that contract thing that was going on. Remember when the player early access happened, and, like, people that were playing it, there's, like, a disclaimer that you couldn't say anything negative. That is, like, garbage behavior. Not a fan of that whatsoever, as long as that is not present. But I don't really think that affects it, right? I think it unlocks for everybody. Same time, same place. Basically Thursday night at midnight, and then everybody kind of gets in. So I'll be playing it. I mean, hey, by the way, if you guys, I don't do it all that often, but, when I play multiplayer games, if you guys want to friend me, I think I'll probably be playing on PlayStation. Podcast Now. If you want to friend Podcast Now, if I'm on, can invite me or I'll invite you or whatever, and we'll go from there, okay? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on. I hope to see you all on the next one.